Hey guys, what's up? Kardak here, and today I'm here with another deck profile. Today we'll be doing the deck profile on a V standard Majesty Lord Blaster deck. There's a lot of versions of this build I actually want to build, but this will be the most basic version. Maybe later on I'll make a Messiah Lord Blaster, X-Master Majesty Lord Blaster deck, but that one's more for fun. This one is more, this one is a bit more competitive. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the starting Vanguard, we're running Barkle. So you can run any Royal Paladin starter, but Barkle is more fit for this theme, I guess. Next, we are running 4 Majesty Lord Blasters. Now, this is obviously the main ride target for this deck. And yeah, he's just a really solid card. He has 2 skills, Vanguard Rear Guard Circle. If you have Blaster Blade and Blaster Darkness Soul, this card gets an extra critical, and if this card's on the Vanguard Circle, this card gets plus 5,000 power and extra drive. So obviously, being a 18k base and a card with triple drive makes him very, very strong. And keep in mind, this card, the first skill, it's not on your turn only, so it's pretty much like a cross ride. You're an 18k base, so that's pretty good defensively. And the second skill is when this card attacks, you can put 2 rear guards into your soul, and then you get 2 force markers or imaginary gifts. So basically, you'll be able to pump 2 markers out for 2 units, which is a pretty worth deal, because getting those extra numbers is very nice, and it also speeds up your plays a lot. So yeah. It's also good against decks that kind of heavily retire rear guards. So if you're going to get rid of your rear guards anyway, you might as well, convert it into gift markers. So, yeah. Next, we're running 2 Exculpate the Blaster. So this card is mainly just to fight off some meta decks in the current format. So this card is obviously used to field wipe XL decks, but it's also good for wiping out Altmal boards. So if Altmal has a lot of grade 2s on the field, then you just wipe them all off with 1 attack, so they won't get the extra shield value from them, and that ruins a lot of Altmal plays, because usually they will use a lot of their rear guards to block, and Exculpate obviously stops that. So we're running 2 of those. I would not recommend running only 1, because it makes it really hard to draw into when you need it. But running 2 is fine, because you can search for it with Wingull, and it makes it a little easier to draw. I find I never really like running 1-offs, even if it's a tech. So yeah, 2 Exculpate the Blasters. Grade 2 is running 4 Blaster Blade. Pretty self-explanatory. And running 4 Blaster Darks, also pretty self-explanatory. These 2 are both very good grade 2 rides. So yeah. Basically, if you ride into one, and then you just need to draw the other one or fetch the other one in another way, and then you'll be able to set up for your Majesty Lord play, because you don't need to. Unlike the old one, you don't need both of them on the field to go in soul to get the skill. You can just put this in along with another grade 1, and then you can get the skill going. So definitely makes the deck a lot easier to use. So next, we're running Crossroads of Light and Dark. And yeah, basically this card is a new order card for the deck, and it's specifically for Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark. So if you have Blaster Blade, you can search for Blaster Dark. If you have Blaster Dark, you can search for Blaster Blade. And if you have Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark, you can search for Majesty Lord Blaster. So some people might think running only 4 grade 3s is inconsistent, or it's really easy to brick, but it's actually not for this deck, because there's so many ways to search for your Majesty Lords. So for example, you can search with Wingull, you can search with this, you can draw into it, and you can. There's also, if you do draw into this, there's a lot of ways to use this to grab your Majesty Lord. So yeah, it's not gonna brick too easily. Next, we're running 3 Leav Rock. So this is the Altmal Trial Deck card. This card is, I actually really like this card, mainly because when you're running this, you're basically running extra Blaster Blades and Blaster Darks, because just put them down, you'll be able to search for either one if you need either one. And even if you ride it as a grade 2, it's fine. Or ride or call it, it's fine. So you can just ride into your Blaster Blade or something, Blaster Dark or something, and then you just call this card out, and if you have this in your hand, then you just use it to search for your Majesty Lord. So overall, it just makes, he just helps increase the consistency of the deck. And if you don't have counter loss to play, you can also use this for soul. You can use the soul to pay for the cost instead, which is very, very good because this deck has a lot of soul for obvious reasons. And we're running 2 Stardust Trumpeter. We're only running 2 because I find she's dead in the hand a lot early game. So I cut her down to 2. And if you really do need her, you can just search her out with Leav Rock. So I feel like he does a better job than her because she can do her job as well as being able to be used earlier game. So yeah. And it's when you ride it, it's if you ride it as a grade 2, it's not often you'll have a grade 2 in your drop zone. So it she's kind of not really good early game, but she's amazing late game, and that's why I'm running 2, because there's a lot of ways to search for her. Well, there's one way to search her, but you know what I mean. Like, she has more use late game. Anyway, next for grade 1s, we're running 4 Wingull Braves. Now this card is super key in this deck. Definitely keep him as a Vanguard booster. So whenever you hit attacks or boost, you can search the top 7 cards and add a Blaster card to your hand and then shuffle your deck. So very, very good. Applies so much pressure to your opponent. Usually my opponent will try to guard for attacks that they usually wouldn't guard for, and they kind of deny their own counterblast. They have to kind of weigh their options. Do I want to let this hit and then potentially give access to my opponent something that they need? Like, for example, they don't know I have Majesty Lord in my hand, right? But a lot of people are running only 4 Majesty Lords, so they want to deny the hit so I potentially get grade stuck. But little they know, I already have a Majesty Lord in my hand, and they just wasted a guard. But yeah, obviously Wingull is just a really good card. Next, we're running 3 Tristan. Tristan is also very good, but I don't think you need him at 4 because he's only you only use him after when you have grade 3 Vanguard, so he's not very good early game also. But he does help you search for pieces, and when you do put your Blaster Blade back in your deck, you can just search it back out. So it's very, very good for Exculpate plays if you don't have a Blaster Blade in hand and for some reason you don't have any Blaster Blade in soul. So yeah, Tristan is just a really good card. It's a little slow, but he is definitely needed late game. So running 3 is kind of a good number. You can cut him down to 2 if you want and run something else like a Stardust or something, but I think 3 is a nice number. Next, we are running 2 Marons. So Maron is an option that I'm running for great ones. So a lot of the great ones I'm running are option cards. So besides the Wingull, I think the Great One lineup is very, very flexible. There's not like a must-run lineup. I tried a few lineups, but I think running 2 Maron is okay. He's not like a must-play, but he kind of helps you dig through the deck. But you don't really need 4 because 4 is kind of overkill in my opinion. And you don't really need to draw into him early game for him to work. So yeah, 2 is fine. And next we're running 2 Cloud Lancer. So this is another card that I think 2 of is fine because he is usually just used to recycle your Blaster Blade or Blaster Darks so that you can reuse your Crossroads of Light and Dark or your Leav Rocks for your pluses. There are chances that you won't have any grade 2 targets left in your deck when later on in the game. So using him will kind of help you recycle, and getting the plus 10k is the icing on top. So it's very good. Pretty good. For the triggers, we are running 8 crits, 4 PGs, and 4 heals. So I'm not running the Outmile crit because I think PGs are actually better in this deck. You already have the constant pressure from your 3 drive checks, so I think the running draws will help you protect yourself a lot easier than just running full-on crits. You might be able to kill your opponent a lot faster, but defensively, if your thing doesn't work, if your plan doesn't work, then you're kind of boned. So I think having the PGs are better. And also sometimes you might have too many of the order card in your hand, and you can just ditch it with the PG, and yeah, it'll have some value. But a lot of times this card doesn't come dead. There's a lot of ways to use it, and yeah, I just think it's a pretty neat. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck. Not too much else to explain. I think I elaborated my choices quite well. If there's something that you need a clarification on, then just comment down below, and I'll try to explain why I'm running that. But I guess the main point of contest will be the grade 1s. Some people might think running 2 Robs is not consistent, but I just think these 2 are just nice options to have. You can just run 4 of this or 4 of this if you want. And some people don't even like running Tristan because they think it's slow. But I think he's fine. Like I think he's fine. He's very good for deck thinning. This deck is very good at deck thinning, just much like the Outmile deck. Near your second grade 3 ride or first grade 3 ride, a lot of cards are going to be thinned out already. So half your deck will probably be triggers. So it's going to be pretty easy to drive check into a trigger especially with your triple drive check. So yeah, I guess Royal Paladin itself is just really good at deck thinning these days, especially with all the searches they can do, and yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I think I rambled on for long enough, but please smash that like button if you like this deck profile, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be making more Royal Paladin deck profiles, more deck profiles in general. I am working on my premium gear deck, and I'm also working on my premium roll deck. I have a few ideas in mind, but I think I will probably be building a Thing Saver fun deck with the new Stride. It's probably pretty fun. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Card Attack, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!